A baby is born. Cute. He's already surrounded by technology. By age 4, she knows how to use a smartphone. He's reading. No, not from this. This. She's making a digital presentation. You don't even know what that is. He has an interest. No, not that. That. By middle school, she has built her own website and her first app. In high school,
with my Michelson interferometer, I can measure down to the fraction of the wavelength of light.
Wow. The world is changing. And they are preparing for jobs that don't even exist yet.
Welcome to this year's District 5 Recognition and Black History Celebration. Ladies and gentlemen, tonight's event is very busy, and for the sake of the event flow, it won't be possible for us to take photos of each group, but here's what you need to know. The entire event will be recorded and broadcast on Orange TV immediately following the February 25th school board meeting, which is shown on Friday, February 28th and Wednesday, March 5th. So, in other words, after the February 25th meeting, there's 2 times when you can see this happening, and it will be after the airing of the school board meeting on Friday, February 28th and Wednesday, March 5th at 7 p.m. on Orange TV. And if you have any questions further about that, you can contact our Public Relations Department here at the district, and we'll reiterate that information for you. First, we have invited the Oak Ridge Honor Guard to open tonight's meeting.
Hold, Lord. Hold. Left. Present.
And now, the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please join me to observe a moment of silence. Thank you. You may be seated. The Oak Ridge Color Guard. The Oak Ridge Color Guard is under the leadership of Master Sergeant Tasha Campbell. Thank you, gentlemen. Mrs. Kat Gordon, our school board vice chair and District 5 school board member, will now share a few words with us.
Thank you, Kathy Marsh. Good evening, everyone. Good evening. In this room, if you look around, you will see nothing but history. We will be celebrating next year 145 years of education in Orange County, and you will be a part of it. I want to acknowledge at this time and take a point of personal privilege and acknowledge the highest ranking officer, elected official in the room, none other than Congresswoman Corrine Brown, my Congresswoman, just in from Washington. Congressional District 5. You will be hearing more from our Congresswoman, and I know that there's a flyer we have passed out to you because we want you to know she is always fighting for us. I want to thank you for joining us today. As you know, February is Black History Month, and every year in District 5, we go back and look at the history of how we were here. We did not get here by ourselves. You're going to see tonight many people that paved the way for our youth to help us to be successful. It didn't matter if they were black, white, Hispanic, Jewish. It didn't matter what religion. They all worked together to move School Board District 5 to be the top in the nation, and we are excited about where we're going. There's no better time to recognize the employees, the community members, retired educators, nonprofit organizations, and businesses that have contributed so much to the success of Orange County Public Schools. In one of his most famous speeches, Dr. Martin Luther King said that it isn't a desire to be out front, a desire to lead the parade, a desire to be first that should define greatness, but rather everybody can be great because everybody can serve. And as you look around tonight, you're here with your family and friends, every one of you have served. Either the principal or myself have asked you personally to perform certain duties, and you did it, and you never said no. And we are on our way to educating our children because of you. Everyone in this room is a servant leader. I want to personally thank you for all that you have done. So let's get started. I'm going to ask Kathy Marsh to come back up, and she's from Media Relation, a former anchor woman herself, and she's going to lead us through the recognition this evening. So let it roll, Kathy. Let it roll.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Gordon. Before we congratulate and recognize all these fabulous people who are so much a part of what makes OCPS great today, and before, and in the future, let's recognize those from our cabinet or executive cabinet who are with us today. Can we have everyone stand up, please, who is with the Orange County Public Schools cabinet or executive cabinet? Thank you. Dr. Jara, Dr. Pope, Ms. Schuler, Dr. Williams, and Dylan Thomas. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Dr. Kint and Dr. Rudzik.
Thank you. Let's give them a round of applause.
First, the certificate of congratulations for our high schools. The high schools in District 5, in case you didn't know, did very well in the school grades that were released this past December. Jones and Evans High Schools both maintained their B grades. Folks, this is the frosting on the cake. Joining them with their first B ever, Oak Ridge High School Pioneers. Can we have Val Maxwell for Jones, Jenny Gibson-Link for Evans, and Leanne Bradshaw for Oak Ridge High School please come to the front of the room? I did see Miss Maxwell. And we have the assistant principal here from Mr. Piedra from Oak Ridge High School, and Ms. Maxwell from Jones, and of course Jenny Gibson-Link from Evans. Yeah.
Jenny is a part of me. Jenny went to Jones when I needed someone at Jones. But she got so good, we decided to let her go to Olympia. She took Olympia to an A, but then that wasn't good enough. We needed her again, so we brought her back to Evans. And now she is the principal of Evans, and they have a B, and they are on their way to an A. Jenny Gibson-Link. Dr. Piedra, I've assigned an administrator to take me places like Representative Corrine Brown. Now, Daisy Lynam's in the audience. We'll talk about her later. But she has a police with her all the time. They didn't give me a police officer. I carry my own gun. Don't need one. So they gave me Dr. Piedra. He drives me all over the state of Florida as we follow our team around. You are fantastic, the Pietro. And when we needed a principal, she stepped up. She said, I'll do it. And I mean, it wasn't easy. You all know how, if you're not green and blue and, orange and green, they give us a lot of trouble. We were not orange and green, but they know that we bleed orange and green now. And Ms. Maxwell has done an outstanding job. The medallions that we're giving you has been designed by our superintendent, Dr. Jenkins, and it has our name on it, and it's a wonderful paperweight. So, Ms. Maxwell has done an outstanding job, and you better not bother her, because we also got her, and we got second best on her because her brother is Judge Belvin Perry. Thank you so much, Kathy. All right.
Thank you, principals. Moving along now to the certificate of congratulations for our 5-star schools. We're extremely proud of the schools in District 5 that have received their 5-star school designation. This award is presented annually to schools that have shown evidence of exemplary community involvement. In order to earn 5-star school recognition, a school must show documentation to the state that it has achieved the established criteria in the categories of business partnerships, family involvement, volunteerism, student community service, and school advisory councils. And it's not easy to get all of those pieces moving together to be recognized as a 5-star school. Would the principals or the principal's designee from the following schools please come up to receive their certificate of congratulations for being a 5-star school? Eccleston Elementary. Ivy Lane Elementary. Once again, Jones High School. Mid-Florida Tech. Millennia Elementary School. Oak Hill Elementary School. Also, Orlando Tech. Doing double duty. Oak Hill Elementary, and finally, Orlo Vista Elementary.
We have Pam Carson. Pam Carson, will you please stand? Pam is our additions coordinator, business partner, and she has worked to help, and they have worked extremely hard with Pam. We want to thank you so very much. Mm-hmm.
Thank you. Well, I've heard this enough to know that this is accurate to say something very close to Mrs. Gordon's heart. The OCPS, retired librarians, current librarians, and guidance counselors. It is important to recognize the trailblazers who have made OCPS the success that it is today. Our next group of honorees is a special group of retired librarians and guidance counselors who have touched many lives during their professional careers. You are the legacy builders at Orange County Public Schools. And thank you for your service. Some of you who are still serving at this point. Betty Chandler. You know, Miss Betty Chandler was immensely helpful in finding and contacting our librarians for tonight's event. Mrs. Chandler has dedicated herself to students for decades, and people are starting to notice her talents. To be announced this evening We need to tell you that Mrs. Betty Chandler is one of 3 finalists in the nation for the National Life Group Life Changer of the Year Award. Life Changer of the Year. Congratulations, Mrs. Betty Chandler, for all you have done. She's been featured on many television stations. I know, because I helped set up those stories, and she is just phenomenal. Nonetheless, our other librarians, media specialists, some retired, some working still. Valerie Scott. Rosemary Cooper. Rosemary Cooper. Jean Crawford. Peggy Mansell. Or Peggy Mansell.
And Rosemary,
Peggy and Rosemary, yep. Rosemary Cooper. Gloria Bruce.
Gloria Bruce, retired.
I hope
Still
I'm saying
working.
this properly. Lillian Sears.
These are our librarians that nobody, see, you all thought we didn't have black librarians? Okay, because everybody's pretty much white now in the library. Well, we had black librarians.
Janice Salsby.
See, look, they keep coming.
And Gwendolyn Black. Gwendolyn
We
Black.
want you to know who trained you guys, okay?
And then there's Barbara Chasnov.
Come on,
Now, Barbara, come on.
Now, I got to tell you about Barbara. There were white librarians. I think she's white, but look at her. We can say this because you know what? They came during a very crucial time. They came during the Martin Luther King era and I don't even want to say it. They know. We didn't have anything. But they left their great schools and they came over to our schools to work in our schools and to love our children. And there were some that left, but they never left. The white librarians, they stayed with the black schools, or they went into the predominantly, and then when we mixed, they went in to work with the children of all color. And most certainly, she has done that, as so many others you will see tonight. We love you. Thank you.
Paula Noel. Paula Noel. Peggy Ward.
Peggy? I thought I saw Peggy.
Queen Bryant.
Oh, my gosh.
And
Come on,
Jennifer
Queen.
Tooks. Jennifer Tooks.
Come on, Queen. That's right. And Bob just reminded me, we started at Orange Center together, and that was my my second year teaching at Orange Center. Look at this. Aren't we all still black? Isn't this wonderful?
How about the guidance counselors?
You know, you all act, because that was one of the things with the unitary status. They kept saying, we're the black people, baby, we are all retired. You know. So I just think that this is wonderful. But then those that we did have that were friends of different nationalities, you're going to see them as they come up. But it was just wonderful how they just took the rope. And so many times the librarians come before the board, and I'm going, okay, where's the diversity here? But I wanted you to see how diverse we were. Let me hug you, ladies, because you are wonderful. You guys are awesome. Isn't this wonderful? There is a wealth of knowledge. No, MJ took my place at Orange Center Elementary.
MJ from Orange Center Elementary.
But MJ went to, oh my God, Edgewater.
Oh.
And retired. All of us went somewhere. Gloria went, oh gosh, I could begin to tell you. They left the black schools, they got a little bit better. They found out they had better things on the other side. And that's why they asked me to run for the board so that I could make sure that other librarians won't have to go to the other side. Okay, but they were able to, each one of them have a history. And what you're looking at now is what we're going to be celebrating with 145 years. These librarians will be honored. They will be in our Hall of Fame of librarians that actually stayed the way and worked in predominantly black schools, went back to their predominantly white schools, and came back and brought the information for our black students so that they could learn and get a love of books. This is just tremendous. MJ is incredible. I went to her wedding, and that's a story we'll have to tell you about.
All righty then. Mrs. Gordon, don't forget about the guidance counselors.
Now, the librarians, let's give them a round of applause. All right. So Betty Chandler will be working as one of our historians with Pam Willard. And they are going to be working with Debbie. Debbie, raise your hand from the foundation. Debbie is putting together, she's chairing the 145th for us, and we've never did a celebration of Orange County education. So these librarians will be in the Librarians Hall of Fame. And now, and I was a librarian also, but now here come the counselors.
Yes, Doris Jackson.
Come on, Doris.
Maisie Cosby.
Maisie Cosby.
Whose daughter, Lynetta McNeely, who is an Alachua County School Board member, will be attending in the memory of Miss Cosby.
This is Lynetta. Miss Cosby went by Cosby. And those of you that know the history, and her husband was a principal. Lynetta ran for the school board. We are school board members in the state of Florida.
Wow.
She is representing her mom tonight as a guidance counselor. Doris was one of the 13 original counselors that we had in Orange County. And then Cheryl Soriano and I, we had to go back and get our counseling degree because we didn't
Miss
have it.
Soriano here?
Yes,
Cheryl
she is.
Soriano,
Come on,
please.
Cheryl. Cheryl came out of the classroom because the state decided that the librarians were counselors and they wanted them to stay in the library, so they asked a few of us to switch over, Governor Bob Graham, and that's when I met Corrine. That's when I met Congresswoman Corrine Brown lobbying in Tallahassee for guidance counselors in the state of Florida. Not only were we successful, but as a state legislator, Congresswoman Corrine Brown saw to it that we had guidance counselors in the state of Florida, and these are the original counselors.
Wow. No, ma'am.
All right. And Doris is going to be working with Pam Willard and Cheryl Soriano to write the history of the 13 original counselors and the bridge counselors. The bridge counselors included white counselors as well as black counselors, but the white counselors actually came into the black school. And we want to highlight one of those persons now.
We do. Wilhelmina Willie Unkefer was unable to attend tonight, but we wanted to share her story with you. Willie asked to become the guidance counselor at Ivy Lane Elementary School in the late 60s when our schools were first desegregated. Willie retired after nearly 27 years of service. Jeannie Floyd, senior manager of grant services, currently will accept Willie's certificate. Mrs. Gordon worked at Orange Center Elementary at the time as a young educator, and she was very close to Willie
Not to say that.
and the other guidance counselors that are here tonight.
I'll tell it.
If you could please come up
Read that in the script.
and accept on behalf. This is Jeannie Floyd, who is accepting on behalf of Willie Unkefer.
Come here, Jeannie. And I love Jeannie Floyd because Jeannie was in the grant department, and we love her because anything we ask her to write, she could find a grant for it. I don't know how. But Jeannie kept me up with Will. Will is still alive. Her husband is still alive. They're in the nursing home.
They're in a nursing home now, and they wish that they could be here. They send their appreciation, and I will make sure that Willie gets to see a portion of the video that is highlighting this part of it.
All right, now look at Jeannie and look at me. Y'all know I love race relations. When Jeannie took me to see Will, she didn't even remember Jeannie, because she's having, a little Alzheimer's, okay? But she remembered Kat Gordon. She kept asking Jeannie, "Who are you? Who is your daddy?" And then, right, but then she said, "Kat Gordon, how's Cheryl and all the counselors doing? She it was so hysterical. She remembered everything. So, Jeannie, thank you so much for sharing, and her children are taking very good care of her. We love you, and thank you. And we will be including Will. All right?
Now let's look at the wonderful support that our District 5 schools receive from our community partners. When I call the school's name, we would appreciate it if the principal or school representative would come down and join Mrs. Gordon. Our first school is Carver Middle School.
Hey.
The Fellowship of Christian Athletes has provided inspirations to hundreds of Carver students. Frank Reynoso and Dave Knight work tirelessly to inspire students with messages of hope. The FCA presence has definitely decreased behavioral issues and increased student performance at Carver. We thank you for your commitment, Mr. Reynoso and Mr. Knight, who could not be with us this evening.
You're not supposed to be doing pictures. It would be okay.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And that's the current media specialist, Ms. Tooks from Carver Middle School.
Thank you. I'm picking on Ms. Tooks. Okay.
Eccleston Elementary. Among the many volunteer efforts that Family and Friends United provides Eccleston is with a weekly character education and youth development program for girls. Sharon Warner is here to represent this important group. Thank you, Sharon, so much, not just for this, but for everything we know Sharon does for our students.
And
She's
she
been here
does
many
a
times.
lot.
Yes,
Thank
she
you.
does.
She's always getting an award. Thank you, Sharon.
And what about RAMS, also at Eccleston Elementary? RAMS, which is short for the Richard Allen Missionary Society, has provided incentives for accelerated readers celebrations at the school. They also provide gift certificates for student clothing and school uniforms. And Mr. William Sims is with us tonight from RAMS.
And the others. All of the other gentlemen from RAMS.
And all of the
Richard
other
Allen.
RAMS are with us as well. From the Richard Allen Missionary Society. Thank you, gentlemen.
Don't they look awesomely handsome? These are our men. We're trying to emulate and put men within our school system, and we're excited about that. Let's give them another round of applause.
And also at Eccleston, the AMORC, which has volunteered at Eccleston for the past 10 years. They mentor students and help students with their reading skills. Ms. Norma Beasley is a member of the SAC, and Mrs. Patricia Lyons volunteers in many different areas. They've played very important roles in the academic success of Eccleston students. That's the AMORC.
Oh, Norma, thank you.
And our community partners at Eccleston, thank you very much.
Thank you, Eccleston.
Now, Grand Avenue Primary Learning Center. I believe Mr. Lino Rodriguez is here, if he can come to the front. The Grand Avenue families were able to have their portraits taken this year, thanks to a really neat concept. It's the generosity of an organization called Help Portraits. It's a community of photographers, hairstylists, and makeup artists who come into a school and make this happen where it might not normally be able to happen. Representing Help Portraits, Chris Rivers and Stephanie Stouth are here with us tonight. Ladies, thank you very much for helping our students have those portraits.
And don't they look marvelous?
Yes.
Thank you. Let's give them another round of applause.
Hey, we're going to take a little break from the normal routine here because we want to recognize a guy. You know, Mrs. Gordon is media specialist and guidance counselors all the way. One of our current executive cabinet members had her beginnings somewhere along the line in her long duration with Orange County Public Schools as a guidance counselor, and that's Dr. Kathy Pope.
Come on down. Come on down.
Dr. Kathy Pope is currently the chief of staff for the school district.
She is
one of
the
our 4
next
chiefs.
in line, chief of staff, from being a teacher, a counselor, and now chief of staff of Orange County Public Schools. We forgot her. She goes with the black and white group. I was really her mentor. So I was her mentor, and she's just been a wonderful. We have kept up all through the years, like MJ Lurick. MJ tried to get me to pass the National Teachers Exam, and that thing wore me out. And the thing that got me the most, MJ just stand out. We just drilled and drilled on a book challenge. All librarians know how to do a book challenge. When that came up, I can tell it now because I'm not going back to take it. I didn't have nothing on the paper. The lady said, "You don't have nothing on this paper." I said, "Well, that means it's time for me to go do something else." Thank you. We love Kathy. She has worked hard with us. And she's the right hand of our superintendent.
Thank you, Mrs. Gordon. Now, now we'll recognize those who assisted Hiawassee Elementary School. 2 groups have made a huge difference at Hiawassee Elementary School. There's Foley and Lardner. Foley and Lardner has donated much-needed school supplies and has presented professional career information to students. Patricia Gomez and Christy Lawson are here to represent the law firm of Foley and Lardner. Thank you for your commitment to our students. Also, Orlando Links, Links, has held numerous workshops and special events focusing on nutrition and wellness at Hiawassee. The Hiawassee community is healthier and happier thanks to their efforts. Mrs. Lenine Brown is here representing Orlando Links. And chairperson, Mrs. Ora Johnson.
That's it, Miss Johnson. All right,
thank you very much.
They are always in our community, out in the Pine Hills area, just doing for our youth. They brought the entire National Links organization to our Pine Hills Community Center with Eddie Brown, and they did miraculous medical things for our students that week. They spent the entire day there working with our young people of Orange County Public Schools. We salute you.
Oh, thank you very much. For moving on to Jones High Schools.
Again.
Yes, and Miss Maxwell, the World Center Marriott has shown its unwavering support of Jones High School over the past several years. They have generously provided meeting space for school retreats, and employees have volunteered their time in the classroom and provided career development information. Mr. Dennis Richardson is here to represent the World Center Marriott team. Mr. Richardson.
And that's fabulous. Thank you. Thank you, Valerie, again. Thank you for recognizing it.
Thank you. Memorial Middle School. Universal Studios has generously supported Memorial in many ways over the past years. They've awarded the school a STEM grant. Their employees volunteer in the after-school programs, and they try to fill students' needs, both large and small. I think is Diane Odell with us tonight. Diane Odell, who has spearheaded Universal's efforts.
And Miss McMurthy is here.
Thank you, Diane.
And McMurtry is here with us.
And Mrs. McMurtry is here from Memorial Middle School. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Diana, for doing all that you do for Memorial. All right, go ahead. Oh, we have one more?
Do we have one more? The volunteers from the Hard Rock Hotel. They've helped Memorial students in countless ways. They're ready to assist our students in anything that is needed, from mentoring to supplies to nutrition. Molly Ford is with us tonight from the Hard Rock.
Molly is rocking that hairdo, honey. Go ahead, Molly. Okay, when this is over, we're all going to the Hard Rock.
Yeah.
Thank you, Molly.
Thank you, Molly. Millennia Elementary School. Dr. Linaw is here. Millennia is grateful for the strong relationship the school has with the UCF Burnett Honors College. UCF education students help teach the AVID classes at Millennia Elementary School. That is cool. That is really cool. They also invite Millennia fifth graders to visit the UCF campus, where they participate in STEM classes and they get to meet UCF President John Hitt. They'll be part of a group of 650 students that will attend this year's annual event. The influence of UCF students is far-reaching in our entire school district. They volunteer in more than 18 schools in OCPS. With us tonight is Kelly Astro from the Burnett Honors College, and she works tirelessly, and we also have Mr. Sloan with us, I believe. She works tirelessly on behalf of our students, Ms. Astro and Rich Sloan. Mr. Sloan is with the College of Education, of course, at UCF. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you so much.
Another partner to Millennia is Miller's Ale House. They assist the school with its annual food drive
But
and
we're
sponsor.
not drinking the ale.
No. They assist the school with its annual food drive and sponsored a spirit night for the school community.
Isn't that awesome?
Thank
Miller
you.
Ale, Spirit Night, you know.
Yeah.
And it
Thank
all
you,
works
Michelle
'cause I'm
Nunnally.
there.
Thank you, Michelle Nunnally, and the rest of the Miller's Ale House team.
A round of applause. I just think it's awesome.
It is. Now over at Molly Ray Elementary School, we've got the First United Methodist Church of Pine Hills, which has formed a true partnership with Molly Ray. Church members help with student needs, both large and small. They also provide much-needed support for school events. Reverend Evers, is it Evers or Evers? Reverend Evers, Loretta Lackey, Lynn Campbell, and Charlene Collins are with us today. Thank you for your commitment to the Molly Ray community.
All right. See, we have the minister here. We can bless the wine and everything
From the Ale House.
with the elders. Thank goodness, sweetie. Yeah.
Oh, if
she's
we could-
here. Wait, can you wait?
We have a volunteer here.
Miss Lackey is here. Let's give Miss Lackey.
Ms. Loretta Lackey.
Pam Willard always say you're never too old to volunteer, and we have a certificate for Miss Lackey. So you will receive yours tonight. Thank you.
Miss Gordon, I'm not sure. I don't know if Miss Lackey necessarily wants this broadcast, but I did hear what you said about Ms. Lackey's age, and if you could share that with the audience.
Oh, God, we just want to get there. Don't we want to just get there?
All right.
I
Put
have
it
to go
this
back to
way.
work tomorrow, but Thursdays is our delivery day, and she is there each Thursday with her daughter at 95, and she runs right.
Miss Loretta Lackey. That's nice. Oh, wow. Oh, wonderful, wonderful. Thank you so much.
It's exactly. Yeah, I got that. Thank you very much. Also from Molly Ray Elementary School, we've got the Impact Program at St. Luke's United Methodist Church. They've been a huge supporter of OCPS students. If you can come back down, please. The Impact volunteers work in the classrooms at Molly Ray and Pine Lock Elementary Schools. They're role models and mentors. They generously give their time and provide whatever resources are needed. Representing Impact this evening are Doug Williams, John Petticone, and Ruth McKeefrey.
right.
And once again, this is the Impact Program at St. Luke's United Methodist Church.
And they are always with us.
Always.
They have never left our side. When we had the grade, Congresswoman Brown knew what we're talking about when they graded us. But they have stuck with us from the very beginning, and we love you for it, and we thank you.
Ruth couldn't
That's right.
make it.
Ruth
Well,
is
thank you
usually
very
with us.
much. Thank you.
So
Thank you all,
so much.
gentlemen.
Thank you.
Now, Orange Center Elementary School.
All right, here we go.
The Orlando Breakfast Rotary Club has made a positive impact on the Orange Center campus. They try to fulfill all of the school's needs, and they do a great job, whether by offering volunteer manpower or providing funds. Neil Kimball is here to represent his fellow Rotarians. Thank you, Mr. Kimball.
Thank you, Ms. Talbert. Thank you so much. And her father was a legacy, along with Mr. Walden. If you see him on the back, her father was one of the second deputy superintendent in Orange County.
Mr. Royce Walden.
No, her father, Talbot. Mr. Talbot, we honored
Mr.
him
Jim.
about 2 years ago, and they brought him in. He didn't come down. So, Miss, is it any way we could get Miss Loretta Lackey on camera? Miss Lackey, can you stand? And I don't know, will the camera pick her up if she stand? Because last time we had to get your father, they didn't want to come down. All right, let's give Miss Lackey another round of applause. All right. She said Miss Sariana was her guidance. Don't tell that. Oh, God, and Darce Jackson. Let's not tell that. But her father was very instrumental. Mr. Walden brought him in as deputy superintendent, the director, and a lot of us got extra jobs because of that, and we are very grateful. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's her father. And you honored him when you called.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Or yes, ma'am.
Do they
Yes,
have
thank you,
another? I
Mr.
think
Kimball.
they have another. Do they have?
No.
Okay.
That's it for Orange Center. Now moving on to Orlando Tech.
She has another one.
And who's with you from Orange Center?
Oh, that's right. Lift Orlando.
Okay.
Oh, I'm going to do that later. Yeah. Isn't he a good-looking man? I'm going to bring him back down later.
So good looking you wanted to bring him down twice.
I'm sorry, Miss Talbot. You can't have all
He'll
the
be
young
coming
men.
later in the he'll come later in the program. Okay, Orlando Tech. Every year, Orlando Health serves more than 130 students in Orlando Tech's practical nursing, surgical tech, and med lab assisting programs. It's a vital component of these programs that students receive, obviously, hands-on experience so they know what they're doing when they go out to these healthcare facilities. Orlando Health has consistently supported our students and is committed to the success of Orlando Tech students. Angela Laxton is here to represent Orlando Health.
All right. Where is she? Is she here? All right. Okay. We'll make sure she gets it.
Thank you.
We thank you so much.
Wait, if you could stay, another thriving program at Orlando Tech.
Orlando Tech and Mid-Florida Tech is just unbelievable. And I want you to know Mr. Heidelberg was the director for Orlando Tech, and then we thought he did such a great job, we moved him to Mid-Florida Tech. So those are two of our schools within District 5 that we are hoping that we could renew the sale tax and get to build a technology building out of sight. So career and technical, and that's what Congresswoman Brown is pushing. When I was in Washington with her last week, they were pushing that career and technical. And then that's why we're going to recognize our city commissioner, Daisy Lynham, also for that. Because African Americans, if you look at inventions and you go and just type in African American invention, you will be surprised how many scientists, technologists, engineers, and mathematicians that were in the 1800s that these people came through, and it will just blow your mind. The Middle Passage was not people of ignorance. There were people of great knowledge and wit, and they brought it here to the United States. So we're asking Mr. Heidelberg, and all of our career centers to prepare our youth, and that is what she's working so hard for in Washington, and that's why I asked her to be here tonight. She's supporting that bill for us. So thank you very much.
Another thriving program, if you can come back, Mr. Heidelberg, at Orlando Tech is the Dental Assisting Program. Thanks to the Dental Society of Greater Orlando, 100% of our students are placed in jobs upon completion of the program. The dentists from the Dental Society also volunteer their time for Orlando Tech's dental clinic, which is open for needy families. Orlando Tech is extremely privileged to have this 30-plus year relationship with the Dental Society. Here today with us is Sharon Hamilton and some of the participating dentists. Thank you all for helping our students succeed in the real world. Are you some of the are they the participating dentists?
Yes. Yes, they are.
I just want to say real briefly, do we have another one?
She's
I know.
the instructor that in
I
the
know.
class, and well, she can tell you.
When I was a reporter at Channel 2 News
Yes.
many a year ago, my dentist, who you all know, Dr. Hawkins. Dr. Hawkins was very instrumental in sharing with me the knowledge about the dental assisting program at Orlando Tech. I just have to tell you this because when I went and saw the program in action, it's true. 100% of the students who go through there get a job. Why would you go anywhere else?
Hey, thank you. Thank you so very much.
Thank you. Mr. Heidelberg, if you could remain, please. Orlando Tech would also like to recognize the National Center of Simulation for working with the school to develop the Simulation Summit for game and simulation design that will take place next month. Mr. Hankel Kraske, thank you and your colleagues for assisting us with this important event.
All right. Look at that. Allowed me in there. I don't think they're going to let me come back. But
thank you, gentlemen.
But thank you so much. Thank you.
And now, Palmetto Elementary School. Palmetto Elementary School is deeply grateful to the volunteers from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. They've helped the students in countless ways. Kayleen Stroud and the church volunteers have done everything from volunteering to assist students in any way you can think, beautifying the school campus, and stocking the food pantry. Their generous giving and hard work teaches everyone how to give back to the community. If we could have Kayleen from the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
Yes. Thank you, Kayleen. And they work so hard with our children, and our principal is just out of sight. Ms. Osborne, I think you saw on the news when Mr. Blocker, before he left, we said we really need somebody that can help us take Palmetto to the top. Because one time Palmetto was one of the best facilities, but we need to really go back and help her with that. But I know, I'm always over there, so I'm there. But the thing that it's not what we do now. It's not what we do now because you know what my goals are. Great facilities, that's one of the major goals. Okay, we're not living in the past, we're living in the future so that all of our children can have the technology that they need. Okay, and it's not retrofitted for the top because Millennium, we went back to Millennium School and added that special STEM program. Okay, but what I want to say about Ms. Osborne, her neighborhood, she's an A principal, and she knows how to take a school to an A. When we asked her to come over to Palmetto, the whole neighborhood came over picketing, but it didn't do any good because she stayed. So let's give her a round of applause. And she brought all of the volunteers with her, and I thank you so much.
Thank you. Also at Palmetto, if you could stay, the Quill Corporation. The Quill Corporation is another important Palmetto partner, as you well know, Dr. Murphy Osborne. They've done everything from donating office furniture and office supplies to volunteering to cultivate the school's student garden. Quill truly understands the importance of supplying students with the necessary tools for success. Representing Quill is Melanie Schaefer-Yap. And St. Paul's Presbyterian Church has made a huge impact on Palmetto students. The church's members have helped with fundraising efforts and generously donated their time and talents to fill student needs. Thank you to Victoria Murphy and the members of St. Paul's Presbyterian Church.
All right, Victoria. Thank you. And, all right, she said 1,200 kids that each one received a gift. And they
Wow.
Christmas presents. So let's give that another round of applause.
Thank you very much, ladies.
To 8 or 9 counties and 22 stores and bought 1,200 gifts and did like 800 miles on our vehicle to help us supply Christmas gifts to every single student in the school.
Thank you. Wow.
Wow. Okay, and she said she's related to Chief Wilson, so I'm looking for Chief Wilson to give us a little bit more money there.
Thank you very much, ladies. And Pine Hills Elementary School. Arthur Foods has a long-standing relationship with Orange County Public Schools. Pine Hills Elementary would like to thank Arthur and McDonald's for the past 4 years that they have helped students soar to these higher and higher heights. Arthur Foods has supplied the school with many academic incentives. Thank you, Kim Wiedenbrook, Dior George, and Arthur Foods.
Thank you, lady. Thank you, Dior. All right, thank you. I'm loving it. I'm loving it.
All right, Pine Lock Elementary.
Yay, yay. All right.
Value Teachers is very important to Pine Lock. They've helped in many ways, especially with making Pine Lock's events more festive through the donation of time and refreshments. Amy T. Elvis and Jessica Padetis are here to represent the group, Value Teachers.
All right.
And if you could stay there, please.
These are Value Teachers, and they have been just marvelous working with Dr. Cantrell. They're in the middle of building a new school with their tax dollars. But everybody knows I told the former superintendent, I don't want the principals out there building any schools. We have a great facility. Just do the academics. Do the academics. So he's been running back and forth trying to get everything together. But we're so glad the Value Teachers are there for us. And ladies, we just thank you from the bottom of our hearts.
Yeah. Also assisting Dr. Cantrell and his school, the BPO Does of Orlando drove number 66. They've made a big difference at Pine Lock, a big difference.
Yeah.
They've been very reliable for the past few years and have made children and education their first priority. Ms. Nancy Lowe is with us tonight, and she's brought someone with her. Thank you and your colleagues for your dedication. And who's joining Ms. Lowe?
There.
Ms. Durahan, thank you very much.
Ms. Duran is joining her
Ms.
tonight.
Duran.
Okay, the two ladies that cannot come down, will you give us their names, please, Nan?
Helen Lippard, Sue Mosley.
Oh, yes, they're always there. When we hold our community meetings, they are there. Thank you. Pine Lock has been one of my most diverse schools, and when they tried to close Pine Lock, like what we did, and you know, we closed ourselves, okay, on one school, but when they tried to close Pine Lock, those parents really came together and rallied and supported us, and we had the numbers. And we were just so excited. So if you go I-4, and I'm going to take Congresswoman Corrine Brown on a tour of the schools, because she even talked about facilities at the federal level and helping the inner city schools. But Pine Lock School, they designed their school. We worked with the community. I chaired a committee on the school board that the parents will have the say. And every school in my district know that we designed our school. We put the drop where we wanted the drop. We put the football field where we wanted it, and it just have been just wonderful to be able to work with Mr. Morris in the facilities department and do it. And I can't wait for you to see in August what Pine Lock is going to look like.
All right. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Robbinswood Middle School. Chick-fil-A has supported Robbinswood Middle School with student incentive coupons and generously provides food for school events. They seem to never say no to anything that the school requests. Robbinswood has benefited greatly from this partnership. Beth Otts is here to represent Chick-fil-A.
That is so wonderful. And not only that, but they cater our, we never had any meals. I told Mr. Block under him for 10 years, we never fed out. We had no food up here at the board table. And I'm telling you, we were here till 2 in the morning sometime. But I do want you to know under Mr. Sublet, he's made arrangement that Chick-fil-A is there for us. Thank you.
And if you could remain here, please, ladies, because joining this group, Stars of West Orange. They've partnered with Robbinswood for the past 7 years. During this successful partnership, STARS, which stands for Supplies to Assist Our Students, has generously provided supplies to help the students succeed in the classroom. Thank you, Dorcas Dillard and her board members at STARS.
Oh my gosh, I remember when they needed a place and we got them a place, but I didn't know Dorcas. Thank you so much. STARS have done a lot for all of our schools. Yeah. And they give the supplies, and they have always been recognized, and they are one of our award-winning partners under Pam Willard's organization, and we thank you from the bottom of our heart.
Thank you, ladies.
Miss April. Thank you, Miss April.
Sadler Elementary School. We're happy to have Ms. Bobby Newfer with us today. She represents Shoe Harvest. Shoe Harvest has supplied more than 100 pairs of shoes to Sadler students. Aunt Bobby, as she's known, has also provided shoes for students at Eccleston. And all told, our Miss Aunt Bobby, who's coming down with Ms. Millie Rivera, the principal there, Miss Aunt Bobby and Shoe Harvest has provided more than 3,000 pairs of shoes to children in Orange County every year.
Thank you. And you have your baby with you.
Every year.
Snowball.
Oh, wow. What an appropriate name, Snowball. For all the dog lovers in the house.
Thank you, Miss Newfer.
Let's give Snowball a round of applause, too.
And Miss
she just doesn't work in one of my schools. Really, she has done it for just more than these two also. So we want you to know she's always out there trying.
More than 3,000 pairs of shoes to children in our
3,000
schools. Thank you, Miss Newfer.
Every year.
Each year.
Each year
Every
she does that.
3,000 a year.
That's amazing.
Wow, 3,000 pairs of shoes a year.
Miss Rivera from Sadler, if you could stay here for just a moment. Sadler's also grateful that Miguel Castellan and the American Green Solution have volunteered at Sadler to help beautify the school in so many ways. Mr. Castellan is here with us tonight from Miguel Castellan and American Green Solution.
Wow.
Now.
Well, not only did we recruit Mr. Castellan, we needed a math coach. His wife is now the math coach.
See?
At Sadler.
All in the family.
Thank you.
The Love Pantry. The Love Pantry provides the nutrition that our students need in order to come to school ready to learn, and how well we know.
Oh, my God.
This organization The Love Pantry is an important part of the Sadler School community. In fact, there are love pantries in more than 60 of our schools. These love pantries have served more than 12,000 children and their families since the program began in our district in 2011. Mr. Robert Stewart, Executive Director of the Christian Service Center, is here to represent this vital community partner.
And I want you to know this is Daisy Lynam's co-part on the City Council of Orange County, Florida, Orlando. He is a city commissioner.
Yep.
And we're the only ones that have more selfies than any other elected official.
If you have one of the love pantries, will you do me a favor and stand up? Every one of those names that I saw earlier.
Yeah.
So there's Rock Lake and Eccleston. And
Ms. Watson.
thank you for allowing us to serve you.
Now you see why we love him. Thank you so much, Commissioner.
Thank you very much. From Shingle Creek Elementary School. The Hilton Orlando, Bonnet Creek, and Waldorf Astoria Orlando have partnered with Shingle Creek for 3 years. Volunteers from the hotels offer support for anything that the school needs. Their contributions include everything from providing student transportation, offering banquet space for school events, and mentoring students. In recognition of their high level of involvement at the school, Orange County Public Schools has selected Hilton Orlando, Bonnet Creek, Waldorf Astoria Orlando for the 2013 Florida Department of Education's Commissioner's Business Recognition Award.
Wow.
Among those representing the organization, I have Amanda Seraf and Rena King. Thank you for your commitment to Shingle Creek. And the gentleman? Tyrone. Thank you, Mr. Tyrone.
Mr. Neal, he's our partner.
Mr. Tyrone Neal, partner and ed coordinator at Shingle Creek under Ms. Supernard. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Tangelo Park Elementary School.
Hey, Tangelo.
The Read to Succeed mentors of Lockheed Martin provide weekly reading and vocabulary support to Tangelo Park's struggling readers in first and second grade. This long-standing partnership has boosted students' reading fluency and confidence. This is just one example of the ways that Lockheed Martin commits to helping OCPS students succeed in their studies. Representing Lockheed Martin, none other than Ms. Toby Allen.
And she is here every year. Every year, someone recognizes Ms. Toby Allen, and she reminds us, I did not do this by myself, but there's an entire team. So one year, we're going to have you to bring the whole team.
Yes.
Matter of fact, next year, you bring the entire team. All right.
Thank you. Also, the Tangelo Park YMCA is committed to providing students with unique experiences and opportunities. The Y provides free memberships for students and staff, as well as creating recreational programs and wellness activities and events. Representing the Y tonight is Mina Ford. Thank you, Ms. Ford. From West Oaks Elementary School, the Grand Cypress Resort team of volunteers has been instrumental in providing necessary school supplies and special event support to the West Oaks school community. The school's teachers, staff, and students are grateful for their willingness to make a difference. Representing Grand Cypress tonight is John Kingston. John Kingston. He is not with us this evening, but we certainly thank Mr. John Kingston and the Grand Cypress Resort. Now, Westridge Middle School. The YMCA of Central Florida once again has been an important partner for many of our middle schools. At Westridge, the Y joined the school's effort to provide an academically focused after-school program. Thanks to the Y's support and assistance, Westridge has been able to have as many as 300 students participate in the after-school tutoring program. That's a lot of students. Joe Pizzarella and his team have been very important to this effort. We thank you all for the commitment. And Dr. Barrio as well.
And Dr. Barrio's school, we just designed Camacho.
I mean, Dr. Camacho, I am so sorry. I will do that
bad.
until
I'm getting old. Remember the lady?
I know, and I get my B's and C's. Okay, and now we'd like to focus on some special partners. Mrs. Gordon will be presenting all of these certificates for the rest of the program herself. First of all, in the red, City Year. City Year. City Year is making a huge difference on OCPS school campuses every single day. Wearing their signature red coats, City Year members arrive before the first bell rings, and they stay until the last student goes home. They're described as near peers. The City Year members are able to build close relationships with students because they're closer in age to our students. They get students excited about learning, and they inspire these students to set higher expectations for themselves, and it works. We're excited that the students from Catalina Elementary will benefit from City Year's proven track record of motivating students. Are all of the City Year volunteers going to come up here to join Mrs. Gordon? Please do.
Come on. Okay, guys, move it. Okay. Dr. Bridget Williams, if you would just stand in the back, and Dr. Libba was very instrumental, and we didn't know where we were going to go to get help, and they asked me to go to Boston and Chicago and take a look at this program that is nationwide. And I'm here to let you know that we are excited. These young people are with our youth at football games, basketball games, and then the only way they were in District 5, and then all the other school board members started getting jealous. So now I think you guys are everywhere, right? But they started in District 5 helping us to motivate our children to make sure that they could come to school, and they're from all over the country. And they don't really get any pay. And I'm so sorry about that because I don't have anything to pay them either.
Mrs. Gordon, it wouldn't be complete unless we hear the City Year chant.
Right.
City Year, how y'all feeling?
Once again.
And they're ready to go. Thank you, Dr. Williams.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, guys.
Thank you, City Year. Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
And let me tell you, they do a lot.
Thank you. Hey.
Now, the Central Florida Educators Credit Union. There is not enough time tonight to list all of the ways that the CFE Federal Credit Union has contributed to the success of District 5 schools. One of the most exciting things this year to happen at Oak Ridge High School is the opening of the latest CFE branch on the school's campus. It is so neat. In the short time the Oak Ridge branch has been open, it's already thriving and has become the in-school branch with the most accounts, more than 400. CFE's President Joe Melbourne, Senior VP Kevin Doherty, and Community Specialist Cassie Roach are here with us today. Thank you for your commitment to our teachers and students.
Isn't this something to get the banker here with all the money? I'm not crazy, honey. I know, I'm telling you this. I wish you could go by Oak Ridge and just see. There's nothing that we would ask Central Florida Educators Credit Union. I adopted Timber Creek High. Timber Creek High School had the credit union. They wanted to try it out. And then I went to Mr. Blocker, and then to Dr. Lawson, and then to Dr. Jenkins, our present superintendent. And I said, why can't we do that? And then everybody looked at me and said, well, they broke. They don't have any money. I said, good. That's exactly why we're going to do it. And they made it happen. Not only did Dr. Jenkins and her staff work together, it was my dream, and because you got a dream. But I'm here to let you know they surpassed it. Mrs. Bradshaw, Dr. Bradshaw, and when Mr. Melbourne went in, he said, oh my gosh, I can't believe the curriculum that you already have in place. We went in there, cut the ribbon. I think you saw it on television. That is one of the first class credit unions for student. And I know you might want to say something real quick. Okay? But I want you to know that that is understood. I learned from my congresswoman, when they're giving you money, be nice to them.
I know Kat for a long time, and getting a word in edgewise is kind of tough. So I'm going to make this as quickly as I can. Jim Wilson is our chief, is on our board of directors, and without chief and the other members of our board, we couldn't do all the great things that we do. So Jim, would you just kind of stand up for a minute? And his lovely wife, Virginia.
Everything I've asked Central Florida educators to do for District 5, they have done it. But I think that to see that credit union out there and those students running it, and they're saying they want to become bankers and tellers and stockbrokers, I said, oh, go ahead. It is just incredible. So you gentlemen and Cassie Roach, we just want to thank you and the principal of Oak Ridge for an outstanding professional job. And let's give our superintendent, Dr. Jenkins, a round of applause for helping us to get it to come through. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to CFE Federal Credit Union, the University of Central Florida. The support, as we said earlier, of the University of Central Florida has been instrumental in helping OCPS close the achievement gap. We look forward to working closely with UCF to create more diversity in the teaching staff in our school district. The partnership with UCF is an investment in the future of our schools in the Central Florida community. Representing UCF tonight, we have Grant Hayes, Richard Sloan, and Andrew Dare. And we'd also like to recognize our own Dr. James Lawson, if Dr. Lawson is here this evening, Dr. Carol Kint, Dr. Gina Tavine, and Jeannie Floyd for being part of the team supporting this important initiative. Thank you all. Thank you.
Let me say something about this. Dr. Jenkins created, come back up. Dr. Jenkins created, she created a minority, that's another day. We'll probably do that next year, but the achievement gap, that was a major thing for the board. And when she came on board as the superintendent, we said, well, what you gonna do? Because, you know, we don't want our district to look bad. And here are some ideas and blah, blah, blah. But she just took it and went with it. Then when she threw it on us, she said, I would like to do this, need your approval. I could not believe it. So then as I go throughout, I saw several programs for African-American male. I took it back to her. I told her about it. I said, you're a graduate of UCF. I'm a graduate of UCF. If these other universities could do it, we could do it. Believe it or not, they did it. And you see all of the people standing here. Rick Sloan has always been with me. But they gave us this great man here that I just cannot thank you all enough for Grant Hayes and Dr. Deere. All of them are working with us. We wrote a private letter to the president, and we said we need African-American male. The board has already approved the K-8. Mr. Rosen is already helping us educate the kids in the Tangelo area. We need UCF to step up to the plate and help us educate at least the kids in the Paramore area, that they will too have a career, tech, college education if they so desire. UCF stepped up to the plate, and everything is on. It's not on the cutting floor. Dr. Jenkins has it on the board, and they are working on it. And we have time to plan, and I'm looking for great things to come out of the University of Central Florida with our African-American male and male of any kind, just male, okay, to work with our young children, especially our young male. So let's give them a round of applause. Thank you.
Thank you. Junior Achievement. Junior Achievement has partnered with OCPS to create a groundbreaking magnet program that is the first of its kind in the nation. The Junior Achievement Academy of Leadership and Entrepreneurship opened last year on the Oak Ridge High School campus. This magnet offers a challenging curriculum optimized by mentors and real-life experiences. It emphasizes the mastering of leadership and entrepreneurial knowledge and skills. Junior Achievement's Kathy King has been instrumental in developing this innovative program. She has brought with her the new JA president, Kathy Panter. Ms. Panter, we look forward to working with you.
Thank you. That's another dream. We worked with Dr. James Lawson in the very beginning, and when I came on board in 2000, I started going to a lot of the Junior Achievement events, and I never saw Orange County kids on the stage, and I never saw African-American male on the stage. And so I asked, why not? And I met the president of Junior Achievement at that time because I sat at his table. I said, how do I get the kids in my district involved in this? Not only are they involved, they've been sending the kids to college. They've just adopted them. I mean, and just gave them money to go off to college, bought their clothing, similar to what the 100 Black men have done. And then they come back and hire them in their company. And then they bring them back to speak. But my goal was to have Junior Achievement in every school. It was a very hard thing to do because all of the administrators didn't want to do it. But Gloria, that worked with Junior Achievement, just made it. She worked hard with me and Dr. Lawson, and we got it in every school. And then we tried to get it in Eatonville, but it didn't work. So the program that you see at Oak Ridge is what we wanted to do in Eatonville, but we couldn't get it like that. But it's the best thing that ever happened to Oak Ridge community, and we thank you. Thank you, ladies.
Just one book. All great ideas begin with just one person, and it doesn't matter how old you are. Sarah DeWitz was a Cypress Creek Elementary student when she realized that if every student at her school would donate just one book, they could help students who were not able to purchase their own books. They named the program Just One Book. And this young lady, I've watched her grow, has this whole organization has mushroomed into a series of literacy activities that include a bookmobile that goes to literacy nights at OCPS schools. Thank you, Sarah, for creating such a wonderful program, and thanks to Mom Charlene DeWitz for supporting all of the ideas that you've brought, Sarah.
Mother and daughter, thank you so much. Mother and daughter.
City of Orlando, we have the honor of having City Commissioner Daisy Lynham here with us tonight. Mrs. Lynham played a pivotal role in helping OCPS obtain city grants to support STEM programs and teachers at Rock Lake and Orange Center elementary schools. If the Rock Lake and Orange Center principals could step up here, as well as City Commissioner Daisy Lynham. Commissioner Lynham, who's been a strong advocate for District 5 schools for many years.
That we were hurting. So our city commissioner, Daisy Lynham, took it upon herself to work with our staff to see to it that there were educators in the school teaching STEM, and that came out of your budget, did it not? All right. Not ours, so let's give them another round of applause.
Thank you, Commissioner Lynham.
Thank you.
All right. And Lift Orlando. This time, it's the time for Lift Orlando. Funded by local corporations, Lift Orlando is an anti-poverty group focused on breaking poverty through neighborhood revitalization. They have created relationships with Orange Center Elementary and Jones High School. Future initiatives will support academic achievement, provide summer sports programs, and also educational field trips. The executive director, Eddie Moriton, is here with us tonight. Mr. Moriton.
All right. And we thank him. We're looking at working with the city commissioners and revitalizing all of those apartments around the Orange Center and Jones High area. You ride through there and you could see it. And this is what Mr. Morton and his company is doing. And we're also looking at his company becoming a philanthropist for us, for the children within that area. And I'm really looking forward to working with him, with our superintendent. They'll be working. I'm just going to write the policies, but they'll be working. Okay, but I thank him from the bottom of our heart, and our schools are going to benefit. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Mr. Morton. And Rod Z. Rod Z. One person can make a big difference. The comedian, actor, and musician Rod Z has helped motivate our students during the important preps for FCAT testing.
All right.
Rod Z is he's just really funny and cool. He's hosted pep rallies at Robbinswood Middle and Evans High Schools, and he gets the point across to our students. He's worked with the After School All-Stars at Memorial Middle as well. Thanks for your commitment, Rod Z.
And I want you to know Rod Z is a graduate of Jones High School.
Yeah.
He's also a graduate of Bethune-Cookman College. And he was one of the drummers in the band with Chief Wilson at Jones.
Oh, really?
And I was his mentor there because I had the entire percussion section. Oh. And he was also one of my students at University of Central Florida. When we Bethune-Cookman. All right. See, I'm getting old. So I want you all to give him a round of applause. Where's Jenny Gibson? All right. All right. Now, Rod is syndicated, but I ask you to please, I don't want to say Google, but Bing him or do whatever, but please just type in Rod Z. Right. It will be hilarious. And this is our gift to Evans every year that Jenny and we get together, and he's syndicated, so he costs a lot of money. That's why I'm holding his hand. But I can't afford to syndicate it, so we get a little discount, okay? So I do want you to know you will have fun with him. We love him. We use him for almost everything. He's one of OCPS top graduates from Jones High
Rod
School.
Z. Thank you, sir. The Orlando Magic. We're deeply grateful to the Orlando Magic for helping to keep our students in good physical shape. Just last month, the Magic organization partnered with Chase to refurbish the basketball courts at Molly Ray Elementary School. That was another thing you could see on television. The festive day included a basketball clinic with player Jameer Nelson and community ambassadors Nick Anderson and Bo Outlaw, and I think our deputy superintendent Jara was there as well.
Yes.
At that event. The Magic's Latria Leak is with us tonight.
All right. Okay. Molly Ray principal. Is she here?
The Molly Ray principal. Has she left the building?
Oh.
She is still
here.
here.
Come on down. Isn't she beautiful? She said, whatever you all want done, look at this.
Oh, thank you.
She brought us all those good-looking basketball players. But she gave me Bo because, we're in the same age level. And it was all right. It was okay. I enjoyed that. But it is so much fun what you do to us, and they stay there with them. And I just think that is so wonderful. But if you could see the mural and all of the wonderful things that they give to the children and how they stay out there all day long with them. We thank you so much. And I know the principal just loves you, and so do I. And our superintendent, thank you.
Thank you so much. Representative Corinne Brown. Representative Corinne Brown. Last month, students from Westridge Middle School and Oak Ridge High School were able to participate in an exciting STEM-related event at UCF that was part of the Zora Festival. This unique opportunity was made possible thanks to an invitation from Congresswoman Corinne Brown for our students to participate. Our students got to hear a presentation by a well-known scientist. They were able to participate in science-related hands-on, life-changing experiments. The university environment reinforced the message that higher education is within their reach. Thank you for this wonderful opportunity, Congresswoman Corinne Brown.
And I'm going to ask Dr. Jara, if you would come forward. I'm going to ask our superintendent, Dr. Barbara Jenkins, to come forward because these are the three people that made this happen. Dr. Jara is our deputy superintendent. And I'm going, are we at the end of the program?
Yes,
Thank the Lord. All right. Y'all know I added to the program. I should have stuck to this. Okay. We're going to let our Congresswoman have a word, and I believe you were given a handout on her because we wanted you to know she's been there for us up in Washington. I go every year, and I never have to set a schedule because they say, stick with your congressperson, and they'll get you there. She sends me into Rubio's office. She sends me into Nelson. She sends me to Daniel Webster. We go into everybody that might, not be always on public education side all the time. But I love it. She just have it scheduled. She works with all of the school board members from Florida when we're in Washington, and we had a grand time. I would also like her staff to come forward at this time. Ronita Sanders and come on, Chester, and Glenell is here from Jacksonville area. Okay, he runs the district office. Ronita Sanders is a graduate of Orange County Public Schools. All right, Jones High. And they made this happen for us. Yes, Linnell, come on down. This is her staff, and it was Hope. Hope, there's Hope, yes. Hope is the entire staff is here. Let's give this a round of applause. So I'm going to ask you to close us out, and then Dr. Jenkins will come after you.
I got to say, God is good. All the time, God is good.
All the time.
I'm just so happy to be in the room with all of you outstanding community leaders. I really believe that when you're born, you get a birth certificate, and when you die, you're going to get a death certificate. And that little dash in between is what you've done to make this a better place. I want all of you to give yourself a big hand. I was so impressed with all of the work that you've done. And it takes the entire team. I tell people all the time, the strength of the wolf is in the pack. And we have to work real hard to work with our kids because they're our future. And so I am willing to do all I can in Washington, in working with the people in Tallahassee. And education is the key. And if people are not on your page, that's because you haven't educated them. And so it's very important. We got 27 members in Congress from Florida, and it's very important they understand the issues, what's important to the educators, and what we can do together as a team. And so thank you very much for all of the great things that you all have done here tonight. I am just so impressed because you all really make a difference. All right? Dr. Jenkins.
And you make a difference in our lives, and we want you to have these roses. All right?
Thank you. Thank you so much, Congresswoman.
You have not turned us down on anything.
Thank you very much. Okay, and
Dr. Jenkins, and I'm going to ask at this time, Dr. Jenkins' staff, if they would come forward, Margarita, Deborah McGill, Malvine. These are the people that have worked extremely hard. Dr. Jenkins, you're going to close us out.
And Dr. Jenkins will give us some closing.
Did Joseph leave me? Did he leave? Okay, Margarita left me too. Okay, we want you to know on behalf of the District 5 staff, Deborah McGill, we thank you for all your work, because now you have to put up with me as vice chair. Deborah works with the vice chair and the chairman. And Mel asked to get rid of me, but it's okay, because I still make Mel work. And we love you, Mel. They go in the superintendent office and say, who's going to work with Gordon? Who's going to work with Robinson? Who's going to? I know they do that. They tell me that they don't, but I know they do. But they are the best staff in the world. And I want to say to Anna, will you come forward? Dylan, Thomas have allowed you to weather this storm. You have outdone yourself, and we thank you. And to Kathy Marsh, isn't she fantastic?
Thank you so much.
And Dylan Thomas, you outdid yourself this time. Did you see the artwork with Kim? Thank you so much.
Give those to Dana.
Okay, and then we have for Margarita that was here helping us, and for Joseph. That's the staff that must work with 8 school board members, and it is not easy, trust me. And we all, Mr. Blockett said, we all have projects, and the previous boards didn't have projects like we have. Like Mr. Melbourne said, we'll ask for certain things, but it is a working board. Everybody has something that they want to do for their community. And Dr. Jenkins, I don't know how they do it. They are worn out and tired. But we want you to know that this is the staff. And Pam, will you please come forward, because you found all of the pictures that you see displayed, the historical pictures that will be a part of our 145. And we are giving you the medallion because you drove us in the parade. We were so happy. And now let's welcome one of the top superintendents in the nation, Dr. Barbara Jenkins.
So I don't know at this point if I'm supposed to say the benediction or take up a collection. Take up a collection. Commissioner, maybe I take up a collection. Let me add my thanks to Board Member Gordon's thanks for all that all of you have contributed to the success of our children here in Orange County Public Schools. Our board is very clear. The purpose for which we exist is to make sure 187,000 students are successful. But we're also very clear that we cannot do it alone. We count on our entire community to help us. We're going to lead our students to success with the help and the involvement of our families and of our community. So because of you, our children are successful. We do not take credit for that. We invite you, we welcome you, and then we applaud you and celebrate you for all that you have done for our children. I have to tell you, though, since this is not just a recognition event where we thank so many of the individuals who have helped District 5 and throughout our district, it's also a Black History recognition. And what better model do we have for a people that came from slavery to the White House than our very own legislator from Washington, D.C., Corinne Brown, and our very own school board member, Ms. Kat Gordon. In celebration of Black History Month, we want to especially commend them for their work in our community and for all that they have done. Elected officials especially take a lot of abuse. Commissioner Daisy Lynham, too. I'm sorry. Stand up, Commissioner Daisy Lynham. Stand up. We want you to stand up again.
And Corinne's still in the building.
Congresswoman Brown is still in the back. But I just want you to see 3 strong African-American women who have worked hard for this community. And what better celebration for Black History Month than to see these 3 women before us. Thank you for your service to this community and to our children, to our citizens at large. Black History Month is a great time to remember you, and we do so as we are prepared to go with a standing ovation.
Yay! Thank you, Kathy Mark. Thank you, Dr. Jenkins. Okay, you are dismissed. You can go by the ale place if you want to. They're still open.
Here's a question for every parent out there. If you could fast forward 20 years to see how your kid's doing in life, would you do it? Well, we can't time travel yet, but we can see the future better with the new Common Core state standards in our schools. They set clear goals for every stage of learning, and they're the same for everyone no matter what zip code you're in. So you can be sure your student is really grasping what she needs to know to get to graduation and beyond. Find out how it all works at commoncoreworks.org.
I'm a student at Harvard,
MIT, Caltech, Columbia.
Our advantage? Support at home, plus great teachers and programs at Orange County Public Schools. Check out what's available for your child.
There are magnet programs, advanced placement and honors classes, and guidance counselors who help us choose the right courses.
There are dual enrollment classes with Valencia College, so students can earn college credit while in high school.
OCPS has programs for every type of learner, pre-kindergarten through adult.
You won't believe what you can do through Orange County Public Schools.
For more information, visit the website at ocps.net or call 407-317-3200.